Hey guys, and welcome. This is Puppet String Gaming, and well, welcome to my channel, really. So, today I'm going to talk about have we missed something that COD has been trying to go and do. So, first thing I will go and say is I did go and pre-order the Legacy Edition, okay? And I am about halfway through this campaign now for getting to my first prestige. No, I haven't recorded any videos on it because I've been trying to find out what exactly it is that Infinity Ward has tried to go and do here. And, I think from going and playing on both Modern Warfare and going and playing on Infinite Warfare, that I finally have connected what everyone has been wanting to know. Why have they done a futuristic Call of Duty that we didn't want? Now, obviously, this game has been in prep for the past 3 years, so there's no chance that they could go back on anything. But what they have gone and tried to go and do is really quite smart. Okay, so basically, what we are playing right here is the same basis of a ground Call of Duty with add-on features. Okay, you're thinking I'm crazy right now, but listen here. Okay, on Modern Warfare, there was very, very little guns available, and everything was very, very simple when it came down to it. So if you have a look here, SMGs, all of these different kind of ones here, okay, have got very, very minimalistic guns. Okay, by that I mean, rather than going and having, say like we did with Modern Warfare 2, 8 guns, or on Black Ops 3 where you had like a bunch of guns which you could properly unlock, and it was like, yeah, you have all these different choices of guns. Okay, you have very simple 5 guns that all work in pretty much different ways and give you different tactic abilities for using those guns, as well as just for the class that they're in. Okay, so that follows the same kind of structure as an old Modern Warfare game. But not only just that, but as you can also go and see, the attachments are very, very simple with things as well. So you have a more delicate way of going and doing it, but each one of these specifically kind of goes and does the kind of thing that you'd want it to go and do. But this is something that we haven't complained about in a Call of Duty. We haven't complained about the guns either, but technically, because of the fact there is so little of guns to go and choose from, the way in which you set up your gun adds a new experience, and therefore actually allows you to find new ways of going and playing, and actually can make it a bit more difficult to play at the same time. So, in question with this, is Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, and Modern Warfare on the same basis, and so is therefore actually slowly making its way back to what it used to go and be, but gameplay wise. Again, lethals are rather different. There you have your normal, which is obviously a cluster bomb, a plasma grenade, which I believe, oh yeah, no, it is a sticky grenade, so it's basically the same as a Semtex, okay? Just going and using different systems. And then of course you've got some of the well-loved ones that we had before, such as a trip mine, which in the last game was one of the most annoying things ever, but worked, okay? These are all things which people haven't complained about, but they still have the same old basic fraction in them at the same time. Explosives on this game, just like on Modern Warfare, are a lot bigger and a lot more powerful, and so because of this, actually it kind of gives you that old sense of the game back. So like a cluster bomb, rather than being like a small explosion like you'd see on some previous games, which, hurt an enemy that was literally standing right next to them, it goes and causes 3 or 4 explosions, which either goes and gets them so close to death that literally all they have to go and do is run into a wall and they die, or literally will go and kill them and finish them off, as well as like hurting another 2 or 3 people that are quite a bit away from the explosion original. So, because of this, obviously, again for me, it goes and points back to going and looking at this. Now, this is the one thing which I don't think they went and tracked back on, but I wish that they had: perks. For me, the perks on this game are not the strongest ones that we could have possibly had. Looking back at things like Stopping Power and Juggernaut, okay, those two were some of the most iconic perks that we've gone and had. But things like this, they're just the same kind of things that we've normally had. Obviously Dexterity is kind of a newish one. It didn't used to go and be in this category of a perk. But things like Recon and Blind Eye, Ghost and Overclock, and of course Blast Shield are the same kind of ones that we've gone and seen quite a while, you know. Maybe something new could have been added there. But then of course Tack Resist, Tracker is quite a new one. Cold Blooded, same and well loved. Scavenger, of course, another well loved one. And Momentum is another kind of one which everyone is really quite enjoying and everything at the moment. I would say that they are kind of the perks which do actually kind of work well. They don't really need too much changing, you know. Everyone goes and uses them. They don't add a real benefit to the game though, and that's where I find the real proper problem is. Okay guys, so we found ourselves a game. I can't really go and tell you too much about the maps and everything on this in the way of such. You know, I'm still kind of learning their names at the moment. But the first thing that I want to go and say about is wall running and these new features and all that kind of stuff for movement. So you're going to see just here, I can use a lot of different movement factors to go and work my way around, such as the slide, which was essentially started out as the dolphin dive. All of these different kind of bits here. But as you can actually go and see, when you work your way properly into the map, there's no need to use any of these. These features nearly become, you know, unnecessary on such a map. I mean, there's so many different routes to go and take, but it's not like to work my way around, I essentially have to go and use them. Maybe if I want to go through this window, you know, a jump through goes and works. But at the same time, it's not an absolute necessary that I have to go and do it. And maybe a power slide can go and get me around the map quicker, but at the same time, it doesn't exactly go and mean that I have to go and do it to get myself into a room and effectively go and get the kills and everything that I'm wanting to go and get. And so because of this, actually, in a way, even though the jump features and all that kind of stuff are still available in the game, they're not so much usable. What you'll also go and notice is actually how quickly this runs out. Okay? By the time that I've literally just started with my double jump, already I'm kind of in the middle of losing it. Which, you know, for me, just goes and says basically, yeah, sure, you can use this, but you're not going to be able to go and use it for long, and it's not going to be anywhere near as effective as you actually need it to go and be to go and carry out the way that you want to go and play. Because as great as it is to be able to go and use a feature that allows you to go and jump on walls, jump in the air, going and get to that higher ground basis, which everyone is so used to going and doing now, okay? You don't necessarily actually have to go and use it anymore, which for me works perfectly. I mean, I was much more of a ground Call of Duty player than I ever was going and playing up in the air, doing dogfights and all those different kind of bits, which a lot of people do tend to actually go and quite like on this Call of Duty. Okay, this game has been voted as the worst game of this year already. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but literally votes came in and everyone, before even it being able to start properly going and playing on this game, had already turned around and went and said, no, this is the game that we least like, and we don't want to go and we don't want people to go and be able to go and vote and give this game awards. This is old Call of Duty. There is no running around like you used to be able to go and do on a Call of Duty until now. Okay? On this game, I use the new features sometimes to go and help me move around a little bit. I don't know why I called him that UAV, because it's pointless there. But one thing for an absolute definite, okay? Okay? One thing that I have to go and say is an absolute definite for me on this game, okay, is this game runs smooth. You can barely argue. That you have to go and remember the one biggest thing about Call of Duty, and that is that, you know, for where these past couple of games have been for us, this one is starting to make that recline back of where we want it. We want Call of Duty to be completely faced on the ground, okay? We want old guns. We want, you know, new guns in the sense of guns that we haven't exactly used before. We want there to be more skill basis. We want it to go and be that not everyone goes and uses an overpowered gun, and so therefore that gun is therefore shamed when anyone uses it, but everyone still uses it because it's such a good gun. We want there to go and be the fact that you have to go and be able to play well to be able to go and play on Call of Duty, and that's what this game is starting to go and bring. As much as you can jump on a wall and you can boost yourself, it doesn't work quick enough to go and be able to go and save your life. And it's not a main part of most of the way that you move around in these maps. Please actually do like and subscribe if you want to go and have more videos like this. If you do like it, I'm actually going to go back on Remastered and go and talk about actually why it was the best Call of Duty and some of the features which I wish that they were going to bring back. One of them I've already gone and mentioned, obviously the perks, but shh, I can still add it into the video. Right, see you guys soon.